Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever considered the invisible infrastructure, the stuff powering today's digital world?
Mm,
The fundamental shifts happening beneath the surface that make our favorite apps faster, more reliable, and, well, constantly evolving.
exactly. It's often hidden but crucial.
Right. So today, we're taking a deep dive into exactly that, the global containerization software market.
A really fascinating space.
Definitely. We're armed with exclusive research from Cognitive Market Research, and our mission, for you listening, is to move beyond just the impressive numbers.
Though the numbers are impressive.
Oh, they are. But we want to uncover the true story, the strategic implications, and maybe some surprising trends shaping this sector. We're looking at data from 2021 all the way out to 2033.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that this market isn't just seeing, standard growth. It's really a foundational paradigm shift.
A paradigm shift.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, it's about how software is developed, deployed, and managed. Think of containerization maybe, like standardized shipping containers, but for software.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Before, every application was kind of a custom-built, bulky package. It might only fit in one kind of truck or a ship, very specific.
All right, difficult to move around.
Exactly. Now, with containers, you package your application and everything it needs, its code, its runtime, libraries, you name it, into this lightweight, isolated, portable unit.
So it works anywhere.
Pretty much. It makes it incredibly consistent across different environments. Your laptop, a big cloud server, doesn't matter as much.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it underpins so much of the agile, cloud-native world we live in now.
Got it. So what's driving this demand?
The core drivers are pretty clear. There's this increasing demand for agile DevOps environments, faster development cycles. Then there's the fundamental need for scalable microservices, breaking big apps into smaller, manageable pieces.
Right, microservices are everywhere now.
They are. And finally, just widespread cloud-native application development, people building for the cloud from the start. These aren't just buzzwords. They're really about speed, efficiency, and resilience.
Absolutely. And when you look at the sheer scale, that foundational shift,
Yeah.
it becomes incredibly tangible.
Yeah.
Let's maybe zoom out to the global picture, because the numbers themselves, well, they tell quite a story.
They really do.
Back in 2021, the containerization software market was valued at a pretty robust $1,656.43 million.
Which is already significant, right, for what some might think of as just back-end tech.
Exactly. Not small potatoes.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the trajectory is, well, it's remarkable.
Where's it headed?
We're looking at an expected jump to about $2,867 million by 2025.
Okay, quite a leap in just a few years.
Yeah, and then a massive surge, really, to an estimated $8,588.85 million by 2033.
Wow, over $8.5 billion.
This isn't just growth. It represents a robust compound annual growth rate, a CGR of 14.7%.
14.7%, that's a strong, sustained pace.
It really is.
Yeah.
To put that into perspective, this kind of pace signifies a widespread replatforming effort. It's happening across practically every industry, finance, entertainment, retail, you name it.
It's not just tech companies.
Not at all. It shows organizations are making this long-term strategic commitment. Containerization is becoming core to their digital strategy.
So, okay, let's bring it back to the listener. What does this all mean for you, using apps every day?
Well, fundamentally, it means rapid transformation in how those applications are built, how they're updated, how they scale.
So like faster feature releases, more stable services.
Exactly. And potentially more innovative digital experiences, too, all sort of powered by this underlying shift.
Makes sense. Okay, now let's maybe break this down region by region.
Yeah.
Starting with North America. It holds the largest slice of this pie, right?
It does, yeah. And for good reason. North America's continued dominance here really reflects its mature tech ecosystem. They were early adopters.
Right.
The market there stood at $646.009 million back in 2021. And it's projected to reach an impressive $3,053.34 million by 2033. The CAGR there is 13.823%, still very strong.
Still double digits, yeah. And within North America, the U.S. is obviously the giant.
Oh, absolutely. The United States is the undisputed regional leader. It accounted for $485.153 million in 2021.
Wow, the bulk of it.
Yep. And projected to hit $2,210.61 million by 2033. This is really driven by its large enterprises, the ones heavily invested in advanced DevOps automation, big cloud-native transformations.
Makes sense. What about Canada and Mexico?
Canada also shows really strong growth. It's moving from about $106 million to over $534 million, with a slightly higher CGR, actually, 14.406%.
Interesting.
And Mexico plays a growing role, too, projected to go from around $55 million to over $308 million. And get this, its CAGR is projected at 15.476%.
Higher still, so suggesting a really burgeoning digital economy there.
Precisely, catching up fast, adopting these modern practices.
Okay, so from North America's established leadership, let's shift our focus. Europe. How does it stack up?
Europe's got a strong, consistent, and maybe slightly surprising growth story here, too.
Right.
Its market was valued at $470.427 million in 2021.
Still substantial.
Definitely. And it's climbing to a projected $2,344.76 million by 2033. That's a healthy CAGR of 14.338%.
Right. And the big players there, Germany, UK.
Yep, key economic powerhouses. Germany started at nearly $96 million, projected to reach almost $448 million.
Right.
The UK went from about $77.6 million to $347 million, both demonstrating really solid adoption. France is also significant in there.
But here's where I found something particularly interesting, maybe surprising for you listening. While countries like Germany and France are, massive players, some smaller European nations are posting incredibly high growth rates, like really high CAGR.
Like who?
Well, for example, Spain shows a 16.011% CGR projected through 2033.
Okay, that's notably higher.
Yeah, and Denmark actually leads the continent, projected with an impressive 16.291% CGR.
Wow, Denmark. That is interesting. Faster than the traditional tech giants in Europe.
Right, so this raises an important question, I think. What unique factors might be driving such accelerated adoption in these specific countries? Spain, Denmark?
That's a great question. And our research suggests it's often a mix of things. It could be forward-thinking government digital initiatives, really pushing cloud adoption.
Okay, policy playing a role.
Or maybe a thriving cluster of, say, SaaS companies, software as a service, who are just rapidly embracing cloud-native strategies from the start.
Born in the cloud, essentially.
Exactly. Or sometimes it could even be maybe a smaller, more agile regulatory environment, one that enables quicker tech shifts compared to larger, more complex economies.
But it's not always about sheer size.
Definitely not. Sometimes it's about agility, strategic focus, maybe a specific industry cluster hitting its stride.
It's a crucial insight. It shows innovation isn't just confined to the largest markets. Okay, yeah. Let's turn to a region that's not just growing, but truly leading the charge, in terms of speed anyway. Asia-Pacific.
Yes, Asia-Pacific. It is indeed the region to watch, really dynamic.
What are the numbers telling us there?
So APAC recorded about $344.5 million back in 2021. But it's expected to hit $2,121.45 million in 2033.
Okay, a massive increase.
Huge! And check the regional CAGR, 16.372%. That's leading globally.
16.4%, basically. Wow. Why so fast?
Well, part of it is likely a leapfrogging effect,
Leapfrogging, meaning?
Meaning many businesses there are directly adopting these cloud-native architectures right from the get-go. They aren't always burdened by migrating complex, older legacy systems like some companies in, say, North America or Europe might be.
Fewer anchors to the past, technologically speaking.
Something like that, yeah. And within APAC, China is obviously a major contributor, going from about $111 million to a projected $734 million by 2033.
And the CAGR there?
Stunning. 17.018%.
17%. Incredible. Japan, too.
Japan also shows significant growth, from $72 million to over $383 million.
Yeah.
A solid performance.
Okay, but you mentioned China's huge KGR. Is that the fastest overall, or is there somewhere even faster? Because if you're looking for the absolute fastest growing individual market in this whole deep dive...
I think I know where you're going. India.
India stands out dramatically. It's projected to jump from just $43.4 million, roughly, in 2021, to over $305 million by 2033, posting a truly staggering 17.644% CAGR.
17.6%. That is explosive growth.
Right. What does that signify for India's tech future? It's incredible.
It really is. India's growth is, well, it's fascinating. It's a clear indicator of its burgeoning digital economy, right? Massive increase in internet penetration, a vast talent pool really active in software development, IT services.
Yeah, the talent pool is huge.
Exactly. So this suggests a widespread embrace of modern development practices. They need it to meet this soaring domestic demand, but also international demand for digital products and services.
That makes total sense. Are there other hotspots in APAC?
Oh, yeah. Beyond India, you've got other significant markets like South Korea, Australia, and the collective Southeast Asia region also shows really strong performance. Collectively, they have a CAGR around 16.5%, highlighting just broad regional transformation.
Okay, so APAC is definitely the speed leader. Now, we've covered the big players, North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, but this market's expansion is truly global, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we quickly touch on the trends in South America, the Middle East, and Africa. They also reflect this consistent upward trajectory, right?
Yeah, they absolutely do. Let's take South America first. It's growing from about $78 million in 2021 to nearly $430 million by 2033.
Okay, solid growth.
Yep, at a 15.287% CAGR. And Brazil is really leading that charge. Its EAGR is almost 16%, actually 15.995%. It indicates a real push towards digital modernization across the continent.
Good to see. What about the Middle East?
The Middle East is expanding from around $68 million to over $386 million by 2033. The CAGR there is 15.354%. So again, very strong.
Any standouts there?
Interestingly, yes. Qatar is showing particularly rapid growth. Its CAGR is projected at 16.999%, almost 17%.
Qatar, wow. Why there?
It's likely fueled by significant government investments in digital infrastructure, smart city initiatives, that sort of thing. They're investing heavily in tech transformation.
Got it. And finally, Africa.
Africa is forecasted to grow from just under $50 million in 2021 to over $253 million by 2033. The CIGR is a bit lower, 13.991%, but still very respectable double-digit growth.
And key contributors?
Nigeria and South Africa are the main drivers there currently, signaling a growing foundation for digital services across the continent. It's building momentum.
So really what's clear across all these regions, the established markets, the emerging ones, is this consistent, strong upwards trend. It seems like no one is being left behind in this digital transformation. Rather, every region is finding its own pace, its own path in adopting this, well, foundational technology.
Exactly. Ultimately, this whole deep dive, it reveals a market experiencing truly rapid global expansion. And it's driven by strategic necessity, really.
Necessity.
Yeah, the need for speed, for agility, for scalability. The consistent growth across all regions just underscores this universal shift. It's driven by new software deployment strategies, like we talked about.
Right, DevOps, microservices.
Exactly. The increasing adoption of microservices, the widespread demand for agile cloud solutions. It's clear containerization isn't just some niche tech solution anymore. It's becoming a foundational layer for modern digital infrastructure.
Something everything else builds on.
Pretty much. It enables businesses to innovate and scale at speeds that were, frankly, unimaginable before. And as we saw, while North America holds the highest revenue share right now, regions like Asia Pacific and even specific countries in Europe are showing the highest rates of accelerated adoption.
Right.
It reflects diverse drivers, diverse starting points.
So, okay, let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you listening, whether you're a developer, a business leader, or honestly, just someone who uses technology every day? This isn't just about big numbers.
Right.
It's about the fundamental tools,
Yeah.
the tools that allow businesses to innovate faster, scale more efficiently,
Right.
and deliver those seamless digital experiences we all rely on,
Right.
often without even realizing the complex systems running underneath.
Very true. It's the plumbing, but it's really important plumbing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. If containerization is enabling such explosive growth in agile and cloud-native development across the entire globe,
Yeah.
and allowing these new levels of efficiency and speed, what kind of groundbreaking new applications and services do you think this foundational technology will unlock in the next decade? Maybe even entire new industries.
That's the really exciting question, isn't it? What comes next?
It is. It's exciting to imagine the possibilities. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and really get to the core of what matters in tech today. And today, we're plunging into the containerization software market. This is a force that's, well, it's not just changing how software gets deployed. It's fundamentally altering the very architecture of IT. We're going to explore why organizations are investing so heavily here, what makes it so powerful, what are the big hurdles it still faces, and of course, where is it all headed? So our mission for you today is simple. A shortcut to really understanding the strategic impact of containerization. We're asking, in a world that's increasingly hybrid, multi-cloud, how might containers keep redefining digital portability resilience? And what new possibilities does that open up for you? Okay, let's unpack this. How did containerization become such a cornerstone for DevOps and cloud native development?
Well, it's really become indispensable, hasn't it? A primary push has definitely been this escalating demand for truly scalable and crucially agile DevOps environments. Enterprises aren't just like playing around with it anymore, they're fully committing. Why? Because it gives them this highly consistent, portable execution environment. And it's not just about deploying apps seamlessly across, say, on-prem and cloud. That's part of it. But it's more about enabling true environmental parity, all the way from dev to production. Think about it. Consistency, scalability, portability. These aren't just buzzwords here. They're the bedrock, the foundation for efficient CI/CD, for modern DevOps that needs rapid, reliable iteration.
That DevOps and cloud native angle is clear. But what was the real tipping point for businesses? Was it just about better tools popping up, or did it force a bigger, maybe cultural shift in how teams actually worked?
That's a really good question because while the tooling, especially Docker and Kubernetes, obviously provided the mechanism, the real catalyst, I think, was the big shift towards microservices architecture. Businesses realized, breaking down those huge monolithic apps into smaller independent services, well, it required a lightweight, standard way to deploy them. Containers became that standard unit. And yeah, it wasn't just a tech shift, it absolutely demanded that teams reorganize around services, really embrace automated pipelines, learn to manage distributed systems, definitely a cultural pivot. And the container platforms, they just accelerated all of that, enabling much, much faster development cycles and frankly, unprecedented flexibility in how apps get delivered.
Right. Flexibility. And okay, when we talk IT budgets, this is where containerization sometimes sounds like a bit of a magic wand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what are maybe the deeper financial benefits beyond just, packing more apps onto a server?
Oh, it's way more profound than just efficient packing. The big cost optimization really comes from how lightweight and immutable containers are inherently. Unlike VMs, they share the host OS kernel. That means far, far denser use of your hardware resources. And that translates directly into a drastically lower total cost of ownership, especially at scale. But here's the nuance, the sort of deeper thing. The real win for like FinOps teams. It's optimizing cloud spend, reducing that idle resource waste, being able to scale up and down incredibly fast. So you're only paying for what you actually need when you need it.
Yeah.
That efficiency, plus, lower licensing costs compared to the old VM world, it's a massive driver.
Yeah, it really does paint a picture of a seamless world. Yeah. But okay, like any big tech shift, there's always a hidden cost, right? Or a new challenge pops up. What's the biggest operational headache you're seeing now as companies properly scale up their container use?
The absolute biggest headache, hands down, it's managing these things at large scale. Large-scale container deployments. I mean, as environments just balloon, hundreds, thousands of containers, maybe spread across multiple clusters, different regions. The complexity of managing it all, monitoring it, orchestrating it, it just grows exponentially. It's not just spinning up a container anymore. You've got network policies, storage, persistent volumes, rolling updates, stateful apps, making sure you can see what's going on, observability. And that demands not just specialized people experts, but also really sophisticated tooling and mature operational practices. That can be a huge barrier, especially for smaller orgs, with fewer resources.
And in that kind of complex distributed setup, security has got to be front and center. What are the specific threats, the vulnerabilities that keep security teams awake at night in this container world?
Oh, security is a major pain point, and it keeps evolving. We're kind of beyond just scanning images for basic vulnerabilities now. The really insidious threats, they often stem from bad configurations or just a lack of continuous real-time monitoring, runtime monitoring. We're talking about things like container escapes. That's where an attacker finds a vulnerability in the container runtime itself, or maybe the kernel. Think infamous exploits like Dirty Cow or specific runC bugs. They use those to break out and get root access on the host machine. That's bad. Then you've got image tampering, maybe compromised container registries, sophisticated runtime threats, even supply chain attacks where malicious code gets injected right into the container image. Because containers are so dynamic, so ephemeral, the old perimeter security models, they just don't cut it. You have to shift to things like zero trust models, really hardening the kernel, using minimal base images, strict SecOps profiles, that sort of thing. And actually, beyond the operational and security stuff, another big constraint we see is the lack of, let's say, true standardization and really seamless interoperability. I mean, yes, Kubernetes aims to be this universal orchestrator, and it largely is, but different cloud providers, different specialized platforms, they still often implement different frameworks, different network overlays, different protocols underneath. And that creates real friction when companies try to move apps or integrate services across these different environments. Vendor locking concerns pop up again, architectural complexity increases. This lack of truly universal standards, it can definitely limit flexibility. It can slow down the broader adoption of, say, multi-cloud container strategies.
That's a crucial point, that interoperability piece. But okay, it's not all hurdles and headaches. The trends shaping this market point to a pretty exciting future, right? Where's the biggest momentum right now?
Yeah, absolutely. A huge trend driving momentum is just the continued expansion, the deepening of these Kubernetes orchestrated ecosystems. Kubernetes has, there's no doubt, it's cemented its place as the de facto standard for orchestrating containers, industry standard. And its adoption isn't just happening organically, it's being massively fueled by support from all the major cloud giants, AWS, Google, Microsoft, Azure. Plus, there's this whole burgeoning landscape of third-party vendors building really powerful tools and services right on top of Kubernetes. So this growing ecosystem, it creates this positive feedback loop, right? It solidifies Kubernetes' dominance and it keeps pushing the whole containerization landscape forward. Richer features, better stability, broader access for everyone.
And AI seems to be getting into everything. How's it specifically impacting container management? Are we talking like predictive scaling, self-healing systems, or even more?
Oh, it's all of that, and potentially more, yeah. We're definitely seeing a really powerful integration of AI and machine learning combined with automation right into the container management platforms. So AI-powered systems are being used for predictive scaling, anticipating traffic spikes and adjusting resources before performance tanks, and for autonomous healing too, detecting anomalies, correcting problems, often without any human needing to jump in. It also extends to more intelligent resource allocation, like optimizing where workloads run based on real-time performance data and cost factors, the really transformative impact here. It's a big jump in operational efficiency, a much more proactive approach to system reliability, and ultimately, yeah, a substantial reduction in the human effort needed for operations. And finally, tying some of this together, we're definitely seeing a major uptick in hybrid and multi-cloud adoption strategies with containerization right at the heart of it. Organizations are strategically using containerization precisely because it ensures seamless deployment and consistent operation across public cloud, private cloud, even on-prem environments. And look, this isn't just about avoiding vendor lock-in, though that's part of it. It's about boosting resilience through geographic distribution, optimizing costs by using the best environment for each specific workload. And it dramatically accelerates go-to-market strategies. For businesses in really dynamic markets, this kind of multi-environment flexibility, it provides a clear, undeniable competitive edge.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this deep dive then. We've looked at the really profound drivers pushing containerization forward, from that need for agile DevOps right through to significant cost optimization. We've also definitely shone a light on the big challenges managing things at scale, securing these dynamic environments, and that ongoing quest for true interoperability. But the path ahead still looks incredibly promising. It seems propelled by Kubernetes becoming the standard, the added intelligence from AI, and this strategic move towards hybrid and multi-cloud.
Absolutely. I think the containerization software market is really poised for significant sustained growth, no question. It's being driven by relentless tech innovation, by strategic shifts in what enterprises demand: agility, efficiency, and just the rapid ongoing evolution of cloud-native infrastructure itself. And yeah, while the challenges, especially around management complexity and security, are very real and need constant attention, the proactive integration of AI and automation, the way the industry is consolidating around Kubernetes, and this widespread embrace of hybrid cloud strategies, all of that is collectively shaping a really powerful and resilient future for this whole sector.
What's truly fascinating here, when you step back, is how containers, just by abstracting away the underlying infrastructure, they aren't just changing how software is built and delivered. They seem to be redefining our very idea of digital portability, of resilience. And that raises, I think, an important question for you, the listener. If containers become this sort of universal currency for computation, letting workloads just flow seamlessly across any digital landscape, how might that continued evolution fundamentally redefine the architecture of the internet itself? And what entirely new kinds of innovation, what new forms of accessibility does that open up for society? Something to think about.